It was good, dog. Today we're going to be talking about ice show speed in Norway. But first, why was speed in Norway? Well, I'd say it all goes back about a month prior. Speed has been traveling all over the world, and right now he's been going all around Europe, meeting his fans and gathering all these crowds, taking photos, and just being a nice person. This is all made for great live stream content, and will serve as an experience that none of these people involved will ever forget. But that's when we get into the controversy of it all. So let's start with this tweet from Speed himself. Never coming to Mudaheckan, Norway again. Well, why could that be? When he first made it to Norway, he was standing in this building looking over this crowd of fans, and it was all going great as long as he didn't interact with them physically.
Oh, fuck! Shit. Oh, I think I just broke my ankle.
But that's exactly what he did. He decided to walk into the crowd, and here's an aerial view of everything going on. Like, look at that. It is just absolutely wicked. If only we had a first-person view of a cameraman inside the crowd. Oh, well, we actually do. Here we are. Now, in this clip right here, you can see all kinds of people grabbing him, and specifically grabbing his hair. Now, someone actually pulled his hair out and is selling it on eBay for $1,695.95. That's crazy. I found that out from Pyro Live yesterday. I don't know why I never saw it on Twitter myself. Before we continue today's video, I want you all to consider taking the time to subscribe, like the video. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and stuff before 2025. I think we can do it, so let's all make history. Alright, back to the video. So on top of his hair being pulled out, he also hurt his ankle while he was in that building. So here's a little video of this random kid in the car with Speed for some reason. But enough about what I have to say. Here's what Speed has to say. Here's his perspective on everything that has happened just now.
It's like I didn't have no sense of like safety, risk, respect, bro. Like, bro, I've been to every country and it's been lit, turned, crowd. But that was just pure, it was unhuman, bro. Yeah. It was just, it was just unhuman, bro. And that's just pure point what it is, bro. That's it, bro. They pulled my, bro, I literally pulled my hair. I don't even, like, bro, some random dude did a fucking WWE move and jumped on me. Nah, bro. Norway, I'm sorry, bro. I don't think I'll ever be back here again. I love y'all, bro. I love everybody, man. Love all my fans in Norway, bro. Gotta go to the hospital.
Norway, they're all Arabs, Indians, and blacks. You see, that's a very interesting thing to point out. When you look very closely at these videos, you have the thought of the setting of this video being in Norway in the back of your mind, but then you look at these people and barely any of them are white. And why could that be? Well, the obvious answer is immigration. That's right, I'm using this speed controversy to talk about the immigration crisis around the world. I haven't really heard that many people really talking about this side of the whole story because it's just controversial. Nobody wants to say the thing that we're all thinking right now. Now, first off, before I continue, I was going to upload this video yesterday, but while I was recording and editing this, there was a power outage in my neighborhood because of the weather or something, or there was like a car crash and it messed up the power, I don't know. And so it ended the recording, it ended my, premiere session, and it was all corrupted, so I have to make this whole video from scratch once again. But luckily, I was given more time to do some more research while the power got turned on again. And so my podcast co-host Owen brought my attention over to a video by Amala Tanobi, a biracial brown woman. And so if you don't want to hear me talk about illegal immigration or mass immigration in general, then you can hear it from an actual brown woman that is against mass and illegal immigration. So here we are. I'm going to go over to some timestamps that she said, and I'm going to give my thoughts.
Some might say, oh, I Show Speed just has a group of young people. It's young people. They're just rambunctious, they don't know right from wrong. The crowd in Poland seemed particularly young, yet respectful, hugging him, shaking his hand, allowing him to have space, not pulling the hair out of his head to sell it on eBay. So what do you guys think is the difference? And a lot of people are pointing to the idea of immigration is the difference. If you look at the crowd, if you look at who the people are who were standing in the crowd, it looks like a lot of, I'll be quite frank, first-generation immigrants who take it upon themselves to attack somebody who they're supposedly a fan of, rip the hair out of his head, try to sell it on eBay, and create all these different injuries on this man who's just trying to get through the crowd to greet them, to have a good time with them. Now, a lot of Norwegians are saying, yep, We've been sounding the alarm on this for quite some time. We do have a problem in this country that people have been speaking about for a very, very long time, but it's going unnoticed, or if it is being noticed, people are just allowing this to happen and ushering it in. And I can't help but think it's very similar to what's happening in the US. It's very similar to what's happening in the UK. It's very similar to what's happening in Sweden. It's very similar to what's happening in the West in general. And a lot of people will say I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. IShowSpeed created this problem for himself. He showed up in a place and knew people were going to gather and knew that there was going to be some sort of riot, essentially, in his name, and he caused it. People will compare it to maybe Kai Cenat in New York City when he created a big riot of young teenagers. But we can think about that as well and maybe come to a very similar conclusion on that one as well.
Yeah, so that Kai Cenat situation that she just mentioned, yeah, I made a video about that too, and I was thinking the exact same thing when I was watching this whole thing happen in Norway with Speed getting his hair pulling out in the crowd. Now let's compare the two situations real quick. Kai Cenat invited a bunch of his fans in the middle of New York City to participate in a giveaway of like PCs, PS5s, all that stuff. Now the result of that is thousands of fans going in the middle of the city, just like destroying the place like it's a bloody Black Lives Matter protest. It was crazy. People's like shops were getting vandalized, people's hot dog stands toppled over. It was crazy, bro. Cars were being lit on fire and destroyed. Like, what's going on? A select few fans, a part of the crowd, were getting injured and stuff. And so comparing that to Speed is the only one from our knowledge that has gotten injuries from this. Maybe there are other people that will come out that ended up being hospitalized, but none that I know of. So is this Speed situation worse than Kai Cenat? No, Kai Cenat is absolutely worse by many miles. But apart from that, yeah, let's go back to Norway. So what are the Norwegian immigration statistics? Well, Amala's going to talk about that too, so let's continue with the next clip here.
Graph of immigrants to Norway from 2000 to 2022. What's going on right there at the end? What is that massive spike in immigration into Norway, and how exactly has that been allowed to happen? If you look at the US, you'll see a very similar spike in recent years of immigration, and this is just to 2022. We don't even have 2023 and 2024 on this graph here. So think about how much it's gone up since then. If you left your country to come to somewhere like Norway, to come to somewhere like Sweden, to come to somewhere like the United States, you take on the culture of that place. The culture of that place does not take on yours. If you left a place, meaning you felt the need to vacate the premises in order to move somewhere else where you were going to get treated better or make more money or life was going to bring you more opportunities, you leave the stuff you left behind. And then you come and learn from the place that you've now moved to. So this whole idea that people can just move into your country and bring all the garbage they left in their country to your country is insane to me. Because at this point, and at the rate we are moving with immigration in the West in general, it's all going to start to look the same. Because these cultures are going to mix and meld, and one's going to overtake the other, particularly the more violent, totalitarian, and oppressive one is going to take over the other. And guess what? The reasons you came to America will have vanished, because America will no longer be America. Norway will no longer be Norway. Sweden will no longer be Sweden. So I don't understand how we got to this place where all must be accepted and where every single thing is relative and multiculturalism is really the pinnacle of, you know, the American ideal or the Norwegian ideal or the Swedish ideal, when people are coming to our country for a reason, because of our culture. So if you allow the culture to be ruined in the wake of that, then where's your country? Deportation is the answer to the problem. Deportation is the answer to the problem. And people have been saying this for a really long time. I mean, decades now, people have been warning about this immigration problem.
You can probably sense the conclusion by now. The result of having mass immigration all over the world, particularly in the US and even Norway, is a bunch of first-generation brown people committing crimes, increasing the violence and homicide rates, and pulling hair out of popular streamers, going into a crowd of fans to get to his car. Like, what's going on? on. And so yeah, maybe this whole situation with speed can wake people up, realize that not every culture is the same. When your culture promotes touching women and violating their rights in our country, that's crazy. That's not good. You need to be deported if you're going to bring that from your culture to our culture. That's not going to work. It's not going to mix. Now that's just an example. If there's something in these young people's minds that allow for mob mentality to occur and have all these crowds of people storm these streets and do all this crazy stuff that we've seen, then the result of committing those crimes would probably be either jail time or deportation. Let's have these people be the example. Okay, we need to show these future immigrants that we are not going to mess around. We are not going to allow this. We need that hair to remain on Speed's scalp. Deport every single one of them, all 10,000 of them that were on that street, and send all of the real non-delusional cosplayer Norwegians to a conversion camp so that they can learn the error of their ways. Do not watch the popular streamer iShowSpeed when you're a Norwegian, because then you're going to end up just like all of these African and Arab immigrants. Now, I unfortunately can't show the entirety of Amala's live stream here, but I will show some timestamps here that I noted down that I think are really, really important to know if you want to know more about this immigration thing, if nobody's ever told you this before. Of course, this is a video about iShowSpeed, so I'm going to leave it at that. After Norway, Speed went to Sweden and I think it was Switzerland and stuff, and you see there was a lot of other immigrants there that were causing trouble, but not nearly as bad as Norway and stuff, but still, it's going on. Sweden is very liberal when it comes to the immigration thing, so yeah, it's crazy over there. I guess that concludes it for today's video. Sub to the second channel, follow the Rumble, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, and join the Discord server. Follow other social media. Bye bye.